There are some indications that he had inclinations this way, but nobody can ever point to but two of them. One was 1959. He did not tell them then he's working for me. They didn't know he was with me, or they'd probably call me. But there was nobody in the room with him and nobody around him. He wasn't playing with anybody. They just, like if you walked in my office and police came in and said, well, we suspect you, so they put investigate suspicious on the blotter. Later someone has come in with doctored ink and put pervert. We think that may have been the last few days on the 59 blotter. The
59 report never got to you.
Never got to me, never heard of it, never saw it, never got to Kennedy. The clearance was asked for White House Pass in 61 and again in 62. Hoover kept the investigation suspicious. It came over the next day in 59, but it meant nothing to him. He put it in his files. When Secret Service asked 61, it'd been there 2 years. He sent it over to them. They looked at it. They didn't even think it was important enough to send up to their boss. The head of the division didn't even see it, didn't know it. He had all these clearances. He was colonel in the Army. He was going to Goldwater's meetings. He'd had 52 meetings with Goldwater on sensitive matters, the highest sensitive matters, with nothing but top-flight Army Air Force people. So they left it in their file. Dillon wrote the Attorney General last Saturday. I asked him to carefully find out why it didn't get up. And they said, here's a man that's got the highest clearances of the government. Here's a man that's got the highest Army thing, the atomic bomb, the space, everything. He's been an officer for 20 years. And he's had a full FBI in 58. I asked the Hoover's man last night, I said, when did you have your last FBI? He said, 42. I said, well, how do I know that you're not doing this? Well, he said that we just, we can't give everybody one every year with 3 million people because, God almighty, everyone costs thousands of dollars. And what right do we have to believe this? There's some very strong circumstantial evidence that this man who was supposed to be working that night, the Army-Navy Club, it's next door to the Republican National Committee. They eat there. He's a waiter there. This Grenier bribed one of our boys in the National Committee who works for Reuters too, paid him $1,000 and promised to give him $4,000 more. And this night this fellow was not working. He missed his shift. He was standing outside of the building when Jenkins came out. Jenkins got an anonymous call a couple of days before telling him to beware, and he thought he's some prankster. He came out. They apparently walked down to the building together. We don't have proof of that, but that's what it indicates. He left the K. Graham party at 8:10, and he was at the Capitol of 3rd and Independence, way across town, at 8:35. So it all happened in 25 minutes. And Hoover is very upset because they had 4 policemen there. That's very abnormal. One might walk in, maybe 2. They had 4 for the occasion, and counting the time he walked and the time he traveled, they'd think it'd take 20 minutes to get to the Capitol. All of this happened in 25 minutes, and the Republican committee knew about it long before any of us. It was published on Saturday that Miller knew it in his campaign train. They think they've got a fellow today that is telling a story that Jenkins approached him in a park on a certain day and night, and the FBI checked it out and found out that Jenkins wasn't even in town that period, and that they pressed a little further, and they think he's been employed by the committee to say this.